Oh, we're off again on FA County Youth Cup duty for Cornwall. Cornwall versus West Riding. And alongside me this afternoon, I'm happy to say we've got a former County Youth manager in Tommy Matthews. Tommy, conditions a little bit blustery, although it's dry, but will be a bit tricky today.
Very tricky. Blustery is a very good word, actually, with Cornwall hoisting one into the box at the moment. I'm looking at the flags. I just can't see which way the wind is blowing, but all the time the ball's in the air. It's going to be a real problem for both teams today.
It's Dario Pizzano on the ball, one player that's missed the last 2 games for the county, so he's been out injured with a broken bone in his foot, so we'll be happy to see him back after a good performance against Guernsey in the first round here. Cornwall on the attack at the moment. Coney though tackled and nice bit of play there by Kevin Owusu, but for West Riding. They've beaten the likes of Manchester and Lancashire to get this far. Of course, Cornwall, Guernsey here at Truro City's football pitch a couple of months ago, and then a few weeks ago at Gloucestershire 4-2 win. Referee today, Mr. Richard Morris.
It's going to be, I think, the biggest challenge today will be keeping the ball on the floor and stopping the game from being ragged, and he's probably just trying to keep a check on things.
Certainly, probably playing conditions. The wind is worse than anything else, isn't it?
Worse than rain. You can deal with rain, but wind is just so unpredictable.
Anyway, Luke Tripconey to take this free kick, waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. Effort on goal, and a good effort. Tipped over the bar by Daniel Crook.
Well, good effort. I don't think he really got on with it, and I think perhaps the goalkeeper made a bit more of it than it was. But certainly first strike on goal, we like that.
Yes, West Riding. Oh, Roberts went for it.
Well, I mean, I think maybe the referee and linesman have given him the benefit of the doubt, but he's certainly struck his arm.
Looks as if the card has been taken out by the referee.
Well, not every tackle's a foul and not every foul's a card, but it seems like it is at the moment.
Roberts on the free kick, which I think Cooper knew what he'd done wrong.
He did, and he's not protesting, is he? The referee's left with a little to do other than to book him. From us in this position, we're not out there. I know how difficult these can be, and I know coming in at half-time, when managers say you've got to manage the ball better, but it's true, and if we don't, we're going to find ourselves on the wrong end of a break.
Kelvin Owusu coming inside, using Whitaker, shot on, and it's in the back of the net. 39 minutes on the clock, and it's number 9 Whitaker.
Well, it's been coming, hasn't it? It's sad to say. You just felt like they were getting on top, and the lad Owusu, every time he gets the ball, he looks to do something really, really good. He links up play, he's got that little burst of speed, and took him past a couple of players, and they sprung it, and it's a really bad time. 5 minutes before half time, and they've got a goal. Can't help but think that Cornwall have really got to pull their socks up now.
Whistle to go. Towards Dan March to Pisano. Oh, that ball cleared by the number 5 Petterfield. Hamley's ball towards the West Riding penalty area, but cut out as Parker has a couple of attempts to try and clear it, then goes down injured.
Again, pass quality, ball went in, lost possession again, and they come away with it. So we're a minute or so inside the game, and things haven't really changed. Be interesting to hear what Glyn and the coaches were saying to them at half time. There's got to be another game plan to try and get out of this. But well, let's hope that he's going to stay on the pitch. That's interesting. No, he surely has to go off. You've had the physio on, and the player's gone forward. Curious.
Certainly in most levels of football these days, he would have had to go off and be waved back on, but Parker's there. And it's free kick to West Riding, which will no doubt be into the penalty area. Oh, Parker just seemed to duck at the last moment, and it's a goal.
Just didn't deal with it. Great ball in, even in spite of the wind, but a great ball in, and they've won the first one. And Cornwall slow to react to the ball. He's poked it over the line, so you know this is not good.
Throw into Cornwall, quickly taken, but Patterfield is in there. A bit of a flying challenge now. A bit of a scuffle there between number 8 and Tyler Tonkin. All stem from untidy challenges.
Well, you know, sometimes the wind and everything, it causes untidy challenges. Be interesting to see what the referee does here, because both linesmen are on the pitch with him to try and sort things out. Be interesting to see what he saw, if he saw anything. I would suggest it was handbags, but as soon as you start raising your hands, you know, and the referee, you know, he's been a bit picky on a couple of things today. Be interesting. Now he's consulting with his linesman. He's having a look, taking some advice from them. You know, probably best if he just called a few people together and go, do you know what? Let's try and you know, tell these people to just calm down.
Yes, yellow card for number 10, and Tyler Tonkin now being called forward.
And these guys now, I mean, the bus trip back for them is going to be a whole lot easier with the result under their belt.
Good play by Cooper, gets into the box. Cross comes in, hits a post, and it goes in, and that's surely it now. 3-0 West Riding.
Well, that was a great bit of play. He's dodged his way past a few people, cut it back, picked his spot. He might have got a little bit lucky getting it in off the post, but fair play to him. Great credit to him. It's a great goal. He'll dine out on that one for a while.
No, you've got to give credit, I think, to West Riding today. Played the conditions much better than us. Put better delivery into the box. Took the opportunities that they created. Neither keeper was particularly busy. And they were just a little bit more streetwise. Just the way they played the game, their understanding of the game, and that competitive edge. They just knew how to get into one or two of our players' minds, and look a good outfit. And difficult to break down with some quality in some key areas, particularly the 9-10 role. I thought there was two good players there, pace in a wide area, and they looked relatively solid at the back. But I was just a bit disappointed we didn't exploit, which I saw, a couple of their weaknesses back there.
Yeah, you had to change things slightly with you played Tyler Tonkin up front. What was the game plan before the match?
The conditions were going to dictate the game, and I just wanted Tyler to compete against the two centre halves, be a focal point for balls into the box. We wanted to get the ball into the box early. Unfortunately, we just didn't do that, and no matter how many times we tried to get that message out onto the pitch, we kept playing in areas that was very difficult to play. To try and get the ball down today and manufacture an opening by lots of passing was very difficult. And I see, you know, Karl Marx is a really good technician, and I felt the ball would end up being a bit of a midfield battle, and I think Karl Marx in that 10 role, which he did in the last 15 minutes at Gloucestershire, just showed something that I wanted to have a look at, because I wasn't sure we were going to get into good areas down the sides, and early in the game, just maybe he could have got on the ball and pulled some strings for us.
Of course, they scored. Well, it's never a good time to score, but they scored at a good time for them. But the second goal was probably more crucial in the sense that, just 2 minutes into the second half, killed whatever thoughts you might have tried to implant into their heads during the break.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you saw the first time they had an opportunity to put delivery into the box, kicking in that direction, how difficult it was to defend. We had 3 corners in the first 15 minutes from the right-hand side, which all of them were poorly hit, and I was desperately getting a message on again to try and get someone with a left foot to to hit in to the box, and on all 3 occasions a right-footed player went across, and they immediately put a lefty on that delivery. Deep ball, we haven't dealt with it. We've lost our bearings because of the ball swirling around. The keeper's lost his bearings, and they've had a tap in from 2 yards. The first goal, we didn't squeeze. The back 4 stayed on the edge of the box. The 9 has dropped off, managed to turn 20 yards out from goal and strike it. And the 2 CDs know that. So 4 minutes, 2 minutes each side of the half has cost us dear today.
And of course, the third goal there, number 2, Jack Cooper, did well on the right side, in off the upright. And what went through your mind at that stage? 3-0 down.
That was lucky. He's done well to get in this position. He's gone past 3 of our players. First tackle's gone in was half-hearted because I think again he's talked to Luke all day in his ear, and he was like a senior player. He knew what he's doing. He saw second half the ball. Every time it went out of play, it took 30-40 seconds for him to actually throw the ball in. And he's whipped a ball into the box, and the wind's caught it, and it's gone in off the post. And that's what I mean about the conditions. Just get the ball in the box, and that's what he did. And we've just had a bit of fun at the end, and said, well, I said that was lucky, and he went, well, I'll take it, and I went, yeah, so would I. And then the game's over. The game's over there. But yeah, they've created the chances today. We haven't created too much, and they go away deserved winners.
Yeah, you look at their squad and the players that are with bigger clubs than what we've got down here in Cornwall. Is it a case of they're more streetwise and they know what to do at the right times? Yeah,
they're playing a high standard of senior football. Dave, you've been in and around the Cornish game for a long time, and there's a reason why only one side has ever won the FA Vase in Cornwall. I've travelled many a place that I've played against sides coming away and lost and thinking they weren't that good, but they just make better decisions. Technically they weren't any better, but they just make better decisions at crucial times, and they made good decisions today. When to put the ball in the box, how to put the ball in the box. Where for us, I think sometimes our players just play the game, they don't think the game. And they thought the game today. Those players made the decisions for themselves on when to put that ball into the box and chance their arm. And psychologically got inside 1 or 2 of our players' heads and wanted that confrontation, wanted that face to face, because it is a far more physical game the further north you go. And I've seen it for years, and we've seen it again today.
So we roll on to the next game, Gloucestershire South West Counties Championship early in the new year. What positives can you take out of today? Are there any positives?
We've got another game. Players can go away tonight and reflect upon their own performance and learn something from today's game to make them better players. We then play Gloucestershire, and hopefully 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players, all of them, just take their game to the next level. If they can improve one aspect of their game today, then this was worth it. And the positive from today is that there's a whole host of those players today could have been playing Senior Cup for their clubs, and their decision was to come and play for Cornwall. No one's put any pressure on them. The squad's been picked, and they've arrived here today. 16 players, plus 3 that are injured, here today. And if that isn't positive, I'm not quite sure what is. There's no financial reward, but they've got themselves suited and booted, will turn up, give everything, and hey-ho, they've lost a game of football. It's a far bigger picture than just what's gone on out there in 90 minutes.